Manchester, it is often referred to as the city of rains, but it is also known for its football obsession, and rightfully so. It boasts of a rich tradition, a legacy of football glory. And the city of rains is now truly living up to that tag as far as its football fate is concerned, divided by two colours, the red of Manchester United and the blue of Manchester City. Controversies and trophies are always pouring in, just like the grey and gloomy weather of Manchester. But the glory days seems to be far away now, particularly for Premier League giants Manchester United. Adding salt to their injuries is the fact that all the accolades is now being hogged by their step-cousins in blue, Manchester City. Cannot get worse than this for the Red Devils. And in their quest of turning things around, United are doing everything they possibly can. Splurging cash, check. Changing managers, it's a check. Luring big players, check. But when it comes to the trophies, error 404, trophies not found. Manchester United's desperation for the trophies can be derived from their expensive salaries. Manchester United topped the chart with over 1.42 billion in their salary bill. And the second on that list, surprise, surprise, City. Those are some shocking numbers, but such was United's despair that they ended up spending so much more. But even with these numbers, the success has been wanting, has been missing. Forget trophies, United aren't even in the race. Clearly, the high wages aren't yielding them the results that they most desire. But this wasn't the only thing that United tried. They kept changing managers in search of bringing the glory days back. And I keep saying that, using that phrase again. And their latest expedition was, of course, bringing in Erik Ten Hag. But that didn't answer their questions either, did it? So much so that United are currently out of Champions League, not even in contention for Europa League, and 6th in the Premier League points table. Given United's decorated history, this proves the club is in shambles. At times, they are exceptional, and in the next moment, they are on the verge of a humbling loss. The latest example being the game against Luton Town on February 18th. United were leading 2-0 in the first 7 minutes of the game. Clearly, fans were hopeful of a massive victory. But what followed was an abysmal display by the players. The scoreline might reflect 2-1 and 3 points for Manchester United. But those who watched the game can say United was saving that one-goal lead throughout the match and managed to win this one somehow. This was in fact United's 5th consecutive victory in Premier League, 5 consecutive wins. That is sure to help Ten Hag keep his job for a little while longer, and will certainly make all the Jose Mourinho talks to United go away, at least for now. Speaking of Mourinho, the Mr. Perfectionist may not be coming to United, but in an interview to Rio Ferdinand, he clearly pointed out what's wrong at the club in his very own unique way.
Do you buy new furniture units before cleaning the house? My intention at United was more about cleaning the house than buying new furniture. We didn't clean it the way we wanted. I wanted to clean from the second season, and we couldn't for different reasons. In terms of individuals, in terms of the profiles, I knew clearly what I didn't want, but it didn't happen. I tried my best, but I knew exactly the deep problems that we had there. In my third season, the manifestation of these problems was more and more clear.
Well, it took United 9 years to figure out there was no point in buying new furniture. You had to clean the old ones first. Since 2013, when Alex Ferguson, their most decorated coach, left, United have not really figured out a way to crack that void. But in their latest attempt to bring back the glory days, they are looking at a change in the director's role. Dan Ashworth, who is the sporting director at Newcastle United, has been linked to take up a job at the Old Trafford. Ashworth informed Newcastle United of his decision to leave on Sunday. But here too, the matter is a little complicated. Ashworth is in a contract with Newcastle that's on till 2026. And if United needs his services, they might need to pay a hefty amount to get him over. It's reported that Newcastle is looking for as much as 20 million euros for Ashworth. Dan Ashworth has generated a strong reputation in areas such as player recruitment and building high-performance structures, aspects the United need to sharpen the most, especially now. Many are calling this a high-profile signing if it happens. And United too are looking at this to be a long-term contract. And if Manchester Giants do get this deal done, it will be a massive boost for them. After all, the errors that have been committed This is one thing that just might set things right. And who knows, you might see a new kind of devil on the prowl once again.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.